Brooklyn.
The Brooklyn Bruins? Dodgers?
No,
It's not the Dodgers.
The Brooklyn. Oh God, I've forgotten. I went through. I watched a documentary about the Negro League, like 6-7 months ago now, and I was very drunk, and I went on a bit of a shopping spree, and I bought a hat for the Atlanta Crackers, the Vancouver Royals, which is a red hat, so I don't wear that one very often.
Yeah, I have a red trucker hat that I put a Senator's patch on that I think will be able to come out of the old. We'll be able to get off the bench in about a year.
Yeah, I mean, look, like this one's low profile. It's like this, and it's sort of beaten up and everything. So I'm hoping that when I wear it, people don't get too. Ugh. But every now and then, I catch a second look from a person of color.
Yeah, it's also like the difference is also it's very interesting. The UK is one thing. Like wearing a red hat here, it's still yeah. It's like having your penis out there. It may not be for the reason you think, but it is still a penis.
Yeah. Hello, Alex.
Welcome, Alex. Welcome aboard, Alex. Good to see you. My Baldy, welcome aboard, Baldy.
Hey, Baldy.
My arm has been an absolute motherless fuck the last 24 hours.
Is that when did you stop taking your drugs?
Saturday, and then this morning at 4 a.m. when I woke up and couldn't get back to sleep, guess who took a nerve deadening pill and 2 Tylenol.
All right.
Oh, it felt great. I was like, that's not even. It was not even working. And then I like, do you ever have this number? Like, I am totally. I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, at least it happened in your house. When that normally happens to me, I'm about an hour and a half away from my place. 2 night buses from my home.
Yeah, but why are you taking nerve deadening medication? I love, by the way, I don't have to take night buses anymore. No one tells you this about LA. LA is the only place that has a lovely, affordable. But we heard John was hanging with Ron Jeremy. What?
Oh, I'll take it. Thanks, man.
Absolutely not.
Well, actually, I just forgot about the last 6 months of Ron Jeremy.
Yeah, no.
I was
also, but Ron Jeremy, by the way, you see, like Ron Jeremy, up until he was, I assume, justifiably charged.
Yeah, that sounds right.
ADSR Thug, thank you so much for following. Thank you for following. Wonderful stuff. A new follower. How wonderful, ADSR Thug. You just see him on the street all the time, and that guy looks fucking creepy. And he wore the loosest clothes, and they were so stained. Ugh.
Yeah, he was kind of a gross guy.
JJ sent me.
Hello.
Oh, thank you very much.
Give me 2 seconds. I gotta grab something. I'll be right back.
What are you grabbing? Do you think he's coming back with just Ron Jeremy's cock? Yes, thank you so much, JJ Whitehead. Go follow JJ Whitehead on JJ Whitehead at JJ Whitesnake, or follow him on Twitter. All right. Chris has got his, I assume, iPad and glasses, reading glasses, and he's frozen. Nope, he's back.
Me? Oh, hello there. Hi. I just remembered that this is going out on my Twitch stream as well, so I feel like I want to keep an eye on that.
Gingerbeard Man 1, welcome aboard. Yes, it is going on your Twitch stream. Although all the chat will come into this.
Oh, it all goes together?
All goes together.
What a remarkable thing this is.
It's shockingly good. I
can't believe it.
It's very good stuff.
I've spent so many weeks. 2 techs who are great, Josh and Morgan, who have been doing my Versus shows, and I hired them to allow me to stream, and then they're both doing
all goes together like me and John's mom. I'll tell you this much, Gingerbeard Man 1, you love a mom joke and you dole it out just right. Imagine if I had a computer that worked. Imagine indeed. Well, listen, if I didn't have, intense medical bills, there would be a streaming computer in my future, but instead I have an arm, and you know what? I'm fine with that. So you have 2 techs.
Sorry, yeah, I can't believe that froze so amazing.
So good.
Normally I can hear you at least when I freeze, but that was gone. You sounded like a computer slowly dying. Yeah, no, so I had the 2 techs and I was paying them to take care of the streams, and they're wonderful boys, but they're doing Leicester Comedy Festival this month, and so I've been spending the last 2 weeks trying to figure out how I can stream my own show and looking at like, are you fucking kidding me?
No, you're right there. I can hear you.
Oh, okay, cool. I thought it froze for a second. And so it was like OBS, and hell yeah, I pay my techs, Alex. I value their work.
All right, easy there, Chris. Don't get the hoi polloi all mustered up. All right, so someone's going to want to.
Apologies.
Wet their beak in the, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, and then so I was looking at all these different ways. Frozen again, crazy.
You're not frozen. This is the best part. I was just being still. Oh. This is the best part. Chris is not frozen. He thinks he's frozen. He just can't hear us right now. Let's see if we can see. Yeah, you weren't frozen once.
You froze on my side. That's very strange. Very confusing. But yeah, so anyways, I wanted to figure it out, and I've been trying like linking all these different caster with OBS through Twitch and Twitch Studio, and then you showed me this. I'm like, where was this? I swear they were keeping this a secret from me.
It's because it's also if you Google it, it doesn't come up, and that's the real bag of shit part of it, where you're just like, wait, what? And it's also crazy. It's just nice because it's one of those things where it's just my gaming consoles are getting harder and harder to stream. We got through Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and then it never really worked. John, can you afford $12 could get Shadow basically renting a PC in a server farm and stream from your Mac? But with that, Chris DW is trying to be Mia to John. I don't understand that. Alex, explain this more. Could get Shadow basically renting a DW was trying to be mean to John. I don't know who DW is.
Oh, gotcha.
Who's DW?
Who? I don't know.
Good,
Alex. You confused the hell out of us here.
Don't worry. Oh, there we go.
Very nice. Cool. Thank you. Yeah. Cheap John.
Yeah. Oh, my shoulders. I like more of this. Tell me more of this Shadow. So basically, you can use the internet to stream a decent PC to your screen. Holy fucking shit.
Wow.
When do I get paid, Maple Twat? When you pry the money out of my cold, dead hands. That's when you fucking get paid, motherfucker. I don't know, sometime. I want... whatever. More important, let's get on to this. Let's talk about Christie Brinkley. Still
so beautiful.
How? Because this is a great point, and this does come from Alex Watson. Christie Brinkley. I'm not looking at her age. This is a photo of her. Alex Watson made the great point. Of us, we should guess how old is Christie Brinkley? Because I got news for you. I have no fucking idea.
Listen, she was a supermodel when
it fucking came up. God damn it! All right, you guess. I now know.
48.
Well, I'm going to show you a photo.
Well, she was Jerry's wife in Parks and Rec, wasn't she? Yeah, that's her.
Yeah, she's Jerry's wife. Yeah.
I mean, she looks incredible, and that was one of my favorite jokes. Is the ongoing? How did this happen? Did she have a coma?
He has the biggest penis of all time. I was distracted by the biggest penis I've ever seen in my life.
That and the when you see him at home with his family and he like catches things and is funny and is in his goddamn element.
Richard Wright. That's Parks and Rec is one of the great huggy boo. That is up there with Frasier for me. Is just oh my god, it warms the cockles of my heart. Even more than 30 Rock's good. Parks and Rec. I mean the eggs, bacon, and toast, fantastic. And when you start your day,
the Gurgitch way with eggs, bacon, and
the line that actually kills me, which was I was 27 when Gail took my virginity, is fucking amazing. Yes, there is rumors that Uptown Girl is about her.
Oh wow! I mean, you would, wouldn't you? I mean, so Billy Joel. I don't care how famous you are. That's Christie goddamn Brinkley.
What's everyone saying in terms of what is Christie Brinkley's age? Chris, let's go official numbers, and the rule of the stream is we go exact. We do not go high low. Exact number.
I'm 48.
You're 48. All right.
No, hold on. Wait. So she was a supermodel in the early 90s.
49. So that puts
her at least. Actually, 53.
You're going 53. I'm going to allow a change. We got 49. We got 59. We got 53. Any other answers coming in? 54 from Richard Wright.
Richard Wright trying to Price is Right me here. Just up me by one. Outrageous.
She was in Vacation, which was 1984. Yeah, she was in Vacation, wasn't she, Baldy? Baldy, have you guessed?
Wasn't that Beverly D'Angelo?
I don't think she's Chevy Chase's wife in that.
Okay.
Can I change? No, you cannot change.
Too late. It's in writing.
Baldy, have you guessed?
Oh yeah, the Ferrari girl.
I'm waiting for the B-man to guess, and then I'm gonna reveal what it is. Oh, you know? Oh, okay, never mind.
Oh, okay.
Why
does he know? Very, very odd.
I mean, we've been teasing this for days, so it's one of those things where.
So
you ready?
Yeah, hit me.
It was her birthday. It was her birthday. It's her birthday today, and today she turns 67 years old.
Shut the fuck up. Shut your goddamn mouth.
The 67-year-old.
What? My dad is 74. He looks like he could be her dad.
I mean, yeah, these are genetic. Yeah, it's insane. And also, it doesn't look like she's probably had some stuff done, but she doesn't look
but
like
even then, light.
Like very light.
Yeah, it's just touches around the edges, you know? It's not
but it's also like Patrick Stewart. Like Patrick Stewart, like isn't it like Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen are roughly the same age? And like
Patrick Stewart's looked the same since 1992.
This you go bald early, you fucking win. The only thing that gets a bit weird about Patrick Stewart is Patrick Stewart's 80.
Jesus.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you can see in the bottom one there for but Ian McKellen got it.
Ian McKellen is a year older than him. That's it.
But he lived a different life. Like Ian McKellen is quietly a bad man.
Is he?
Yeah, like a wonderful but like bad.
What has he done?
My favorite story about him, and this is I want to start this by saying I have no proof of this. I heard it secondhand, probably fourth hand. So someone's getting a tour of a theater, right? And hey, two of us. You know why I wear a hat? It's not because I'm embarrassed by it. I'm fine with being bald. It's that when I take off my hat, I just look like I'm part of the wall. There's no distinction.
I also like hats. It's the annoying thing about going bald and liking hats is people assume, oh, you must be wearing hats because you're losing your hair. It's like, I actually don't give a fuck.
No.
I find it way more embarrassing when people cling. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the comb overs or the just going around it and hoping no one sees the back of your head.
It's also, here's the thing. Yeah, here's when you get shitty about growing older. When you start saying things like, I'm an old man now, then you can fuck off. But just get older. Like, who gives a fuck?
I call my wife old, but only because she's 5 months older than me, and that makes me laugh.
She's also a very old. She's one of the oldest souls I've ever met. Like, she's the only person I know that gets stressed out and then needs to knead some dough.
Yeah, man. She's made me so many cakes during lockdown. Oh my God. Crazy.
I remember just
midnight cakes.
I remember there was something going on with something, and it was a fucking pastry shop in there for like a week, and there was a part of me that was like, do I set her off? Because I could really go for some chocolate. Yeah, man. Yeah, but also, speaking of which, I know you for a long time, King GOWTF. You've always sort of acted like you're a super old man, in that you do always reference like, I'm always I'm an old man. Like you were saying, I'm an old man when you were in your mid-20s.
Who is? Oh, we don't name names on Twitch. Sorry. Do I know this King Geo?
You do not. Okay. Well, you were both at my wedding. Like you would have met each other at the wedding.
Oh, okay. There were a lot of people at that wedding though, and I mostly talked to like British comedians, which was surprising because it was sort of a homecoming, and I ended up hanging out with Carl and Paul and Burns, and
it was a weird wedding in that I curated it so everyone would definitely get along, and everyone just stuck to their own crew because it was what I forgot was I also invited like tons of pockets of very good friends that hadn't seen each other for a while, so they would just stick together.
Yeah.
As opposed to at most weddings where the convention and design of it is that you're all at tables, but mine was basically just a ceremony and then it was a bar.
Yeah, with a patio, and that's where we camped out the whole time because we were just smoking the cigars.
My dad absolutely nailed it with that. That because he said, he's like, should I bring a box of cigars? And I was like, that's a great idea, and it was awesome. Yeah, phenomenal. And also, by the way, a couple of friends have been like, oh man, we don't get to talk about your wedding now that you're getting divorced. I'm like, no, we're talking about that wedding forever. It was amazing and so much fun. How dare you? Like that's not why we broke up. And also, it goes to my theory: good wedding, you're getting divorced.
I don't believe that, only because I've been to a couple good weddings and they're super solid. Mine was fun but half-hearted and brief. It was about getting it done. It wasn't about.
So you're fine.
Yeah.
And also, parishioner really fucked up your wife's name. That's a strike against. So you guys are fine.
But she also walked down the aisle to So Fresh and So Clean by Outkast. So
did she?
I mean, yeah, it's pretty dope.
I was so tired. I just because my at the time girlfriend, now wife, had visited. And we just stayed up late because we were excited.
Yeah, of course.
And in a classic Edinburgh Fringe thing, at the time of it's the funnest place to stay out late. And I always ended for years. I would always do that and not be able to sleep in the next morning.
Ooh,
and
why?
That was just bad planning. And that was a classic one where I slept for maybe 2 hours. Holy shit! I remember
we didn't know. We couldn't have guessed.
Well, this is if you listen, I go hard in the paint in Edinburgh, so I just look tired after about 3 days, so it's fine.
I remember I ambushed my best man on the day.
What do you mean?
Well, I didn't tell him. I didn't because we didn't really do any planning. And then he was standing in the back room with Sadaf and her maid of honor. And it's my old friend Kenny. He's a Scottish guy. He's the fucking best. I love him. And I was like, so you gonna walk down, stand next to me up here, big guy? And he's like, you son of a bitch.
That's good.
Because he would have thrown me. He definitely would have thrown me a bachelor party, and I would have died.
Yeah.
And
and also you have a lot of flair bartenders in your past, and you have a lot of comedians, and those two converge together. Holy fuck!
Nasty. Yeah. It would have been fun as hell, but
the only time I ever went to a British stag do, and I'm not going to say who it was, but let's just say we were on a train in Bristol, and someone said, "Let's see if we can buy cocaine by the time we can get it sourced, purchased, and delivered to where the hen do is." And that was successful. Smash cut to, I have never done. No, we got to respect terms of services. Someone at the party had never done so much. I did so much MDMA. I feel that I was a separate person. Also, at a certain point, I literally just was in the middle of a conversation. I said, "Excuse me." And then I ran into a wooded area and geyser shot red wine vomit. And I've never felt better in my life. But the problem is that it was a bunch of like old friends and then artsy comedian people. And the artsy comedians were just like, "What are we doing?" "Oh yeah, drugs." And we went like hard. And because I can party. And then there was some big boys when it comes to partying. And we went nuts. All I remember is smoking all of the cigarettes in a treehouse and laying down and just feeling love.
I remember one time I was driving to Sasquatch Music Festival in Washington State, and my friends and I we were having so much fun just listening to a bunch of great music, probably Fleet Foxes or something at the time. It was either Fleet Foxes or Tool. It was one of those two.
Oh my god!
And driving down the highway, and we saw these guys smoking a joint in their truck, and we're like, I bet we can buy weed off of those guys. So we pulled level with them, and at 100 kilometers an hour, organized a weed buy, allegedly. And
supposedly. It's legal now. You can say whatever you want.
And then reached out across, pulled it out of there, handed them the money as we were driving, rolled it up, and we started smoking it. And they came back across, and they're like, "Do you want it?" And so we're just passing this joint back and forth, car to car, going 100K. We knew it was going to be a good weekend. And then when we got to the festival, we're like, because we were camping and there were all these different stalls, and we go, we were in a camper van, so it's a special area for it. And we're like, we're going to wait for one to speak to us. We're not just going to pick anything. It's going to be the right one. And as soon as we said it, this huge bearded guy stepped into the road, pointed at our van, and went, "You guys here." It's like, yes. We parked, and as soon as we got out, he's like, "You boys like weed?" We're like, "We do." "How did you know?" He's like, "Good, because I sell weed. You're home now."
I mean, it's why, of course, the legalization of marijuana is just a war on the poor. And I miss it being illegal. I liked it when it was Canadian illegal, where it's kind of like,
yeah,
like the cops aren't even they're gonna roll their eyes, but it's just like, yeah, they like.
I remember a friend was walking down the street in Vancouver, and a cop just said, "Guys, can you just do it in the alley? There's families here."
Yeah,
for sure, no problem. Thanks, officer.
It's also I was on a 10-year hiatus, and I've just come roaring back to it. It's wonderful. 2 hits out of a window, you feel like you're having a panic attack for 15 minutes, and then you have the greatest night of your life.
I haven't done it since I took way too much acid a few years ago. And
well, you've frozen, but I can still hear you. Let's talk about when you took way too much acid, because that is one of the you did it like by yourself in a tent at a music festival when you have a job. There was so much responsibility on your brain. The fact you fucking did it was like, what were you thinking?
Shockingly, I was the most responsible of the 3 of us that took it. And I found out later that night, my friend Kenny, my best man, got dosed by the same lady that night.
Yeah, because that was at Glastonbury, was it not?
That was at Glastonbury, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was working a bar. This beautiful hippie girl comes up, and she's just like, hey, I'm thirsty, but I don't have any money, but I've got a bunch of acid. Do you want to trade? And we were like, yes, of course. Of course we want to do that. And so my buddies and I, we all took a little bit of liquid LSD. She put it in a little paper cup for us.
Oh,
we didn't dose it out. We didn't know how strong it was. We didn't really see how much she put in there. They took it immediately, mid-shift, disappeared 20 minutes later.
Good.
Full on disappeared. I didn't see them again for 9 hours.
Why would you?
I waited until the end of my shift because I'm a responsible boy.
Yeah.
And at the end of my shift, I remember thinking I held it in my hand and I was like, I should just throw this away.
No. Absolutely.
Fuck it. What is going on over there? That was an elephant or truck. Okay. So yes, I downed it and I was like, I'm at Glastonbury. I'm going to have a great time. I'm going to go find some friends. And I'm walking around. And then as I'm walking, I see one of the guys that took it 6 hours before, and he's under a lamppost weeping. Like he looked like a refugee in a commercial. It was just, he was abandoned. There was nothing he could do. I found him and he's like, oh my God, we got dosed. This has never happened to me before. And he takes more drugs than anyone I've ever known. He's the top limit for me. And you know, like we both know so many people that take drugs constantly. And he's the one. He's my upper limit friend.
Have you realized this recently that I didn't think of this, but I'm that for like all of my stayed at home in Canada friends?
Oh, really?
I didn't think of it at all. This is that story is a conflation of 2 events. Yes. Because they worked better together. I did get dosed at a house party in London my first week, and I did sleep with a lady who revealed that I was married midway, but I put them both together because it was funnier.
Yeah.
So yeah, because then you just were in your tent writing for hours, weren't you? Also,
am I frozen again? Am I all right?
Yeah, it's fine. We can still hear you. Okay. I'm fine that if you're frozen, I don't care.
That's weird. I don't understand what's going on here because my internet's been fine all day.
It takes a gong load of juice
to do this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I pick up my friend. I'm like, I'm going to take you because I haven't come up yet. I'm just starting to come up. I'm still a person.
I will at the end of Chris's story, Alex.
And we get to so I walk him. He's only about 50 steps from our tents. We're in a circle in the hospitality area because we're bartenders. We get about halfway. It hits me. Thanks, Baldy. So we're both just too high trying to make our way through the maze of tents. We get there. I knock on one of the other bartenders' tents and I say, you need to look after him. And I point at my buddy who's already too high. Yeah. And she goes, why can't you do it? And I say, because that's about to be me.
Yeah.
And she goes, you guys are fucking idiots. And I said, agreed.
Yeah, of course.
I climbed into my tent because it's my safe place. I love my tent.
Very smart. You're doing a very smart thing because you're now surrounded by love. Mm-hmm. And now it's time to ride.
Here we go. I grabbed, I had a bag of Haribo, you know, the golden bag?
Yeah, I don't like Haribo, but I know what it is.
So I had that, and I decided that was my talisman. This was what was going to keep me safe. As long as I had my Haribo bag, I was going to be all right. And so I had my Haribo. I laid down. I turned on the recorder on my phone just because I was like, might as well document it. Let's see what comes out of this. And what would happen is I would sort of go real deep. Like I felt like Alice falling through the rabbit hole. Like it was crazy. I've never felt anything like it. And every now and then I'd sort of come out, try to describe what I'd seen, and then go back in. That lasted for 11 hours. Didn't sleep at all. Ooh, it was awful. Naomi was amazing. She was the one who took care of the other guy all night, and she took me for a walk. She's like, "We need to stretch your legs. You need
Yeah.
you need some coffee
You're
and some
going back to
food."
work.
Yeah, and so we got to the cabaret area because it was nearby, and Paul Curry was performing.
Oh, wonderful!
I made everyone stop. I was like, "This is exactly what I need right now. I need to watch Paul Curry put toothpaste on strangers." Thank you very much.
Paul Curry, one of the best performers ever. Also, top 5 best festival meltdowns I've ever seen is Paul Curry at the Melbourne Comedy Festival.
That sounds plausible. He's highly screaming,
"These corporate fucks!" Oh my god, wonderful. Not wrong. Wasn't wrong.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a goddamn mess.
It was my favorite type of meltdown where it was clearly what he was saying was, this isn't going as well as it usually goes.
Yeah.
But it's that thing of you're so fucking invested, you just say all sorts of gobbledygook, and it was just like listen, it's a giant festival. The Melbourne Comedy Festival is truly one of my favorite festivals on the planet. They do really foster and help a lot of artists. It's truly amazing. But a festival for comedians, no matter what, you do feel fucking alone in the middle of it. And if you aren't watching yourself so carefully, you can really go bananas. And boy.
When also every festival has a couple losers. And I don't mean like losers and like you loser, just in like it just didn't work out this year.
Yep. That's a great point. Yeah.
And every now and then it happens. I remember it happened to Alexis.
Someone's got to be first. Someone's got to be last. Oh my God. I remember I was there that year. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was so upset about it. And it sounds like it happened to Paul and everyone, especially in Melbourne, though, they get hit hard emotionally. I don't know.
Because the thing is so nice. Oh, gyno vaginal cream when you've got something fungal deep down in your lady jungle.
Thanks, Hoser.
Hoser for life. I mean, what the fuck does that mean?
I don't know, but that's an ambitious spam if he's advertising.
Chris, do you have a Greg Fleet story? I don't know if you've ever met Greg Fleet, Chris.
I have not met Greg Fleet.
I don't think you've ever been to Australia.
No, I keep wanting to go, but I need someone to pay for me to go.
That's right. But comedy festivals can go well.
Richard, you know that. You've been in the front row of enough sold-out shows. You know that
it's possible. Hey, what's going on? I mean, Chris, that was a stupid time to take acid. I think the stupidest thing, and this isn't true, this never happened, is no one ever took acid and went to the Chortle Awards in 2017.
Definitely not. I've never heard of anyone doing that. Definitely didn't win an award and then give a speech on acid.
No one did that. No one had to be stopped from yelling at Clive Anderson at the back of the room by Scott Gibson. I'll tell you that didn't happen.
Guaranteed.
That didn't happen. No one spilled a beer on a variety of sober comedians, and then they went, "That's why I don't drink." And then that person then responded with, "Well, that's why you're not fucking fun." That never happened. Never happened. None of that. I will tell you right now, ever 100%. Happened.
Not once. Not once.
And I will tell you, that thing
it wasn't organized beforehand.
Wasn't organized beforehand. There wasn't a van that was arranged by the organization to get a person who is now on TV a lot there, and everyone else just jumped in.
Yeah.
As I recall, someone opted not to, but definitely was there for the because this didn't happen.
But theoretically, one of us.
What? No. Well, neither one of us were a part of this at all.
No. That was the royal us.
Yeah. But one person who was at the day drinking portion during the planning was smart enough to go, the drinking is smart. What you idiots are about to do is really stupid. I assume if that happened, which it didn't.
If that did happen, which obviously it didn't, that might be because the person took too much once at a music festival.
Yeah, maybe could be.
I mean,
what's the scariest part is that for another person that was involved in this when it didn't happen, and realized that he was essentially at a works event, was then told by a bunch of the people who he works with that they've never seen him happier is one of the funniest.
Had that happened,
which it did not.
It did not happen. Absolutely did not happen.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, my buddy Jordan's on. Hey, Jordan.
Chris, anything?
Jordan RC. He's my co-host on the Big Shiny Tunes podcast.
Oh,
Jordan
RC.
I love Jordan.
Anything you listen to back on your LSD recording that makes no sense to you or just too much sense? Ooh.
There's one bit where I'm apologizing to everyone I've ever known. That made too much sense. And then there was one bit where there was I named her Tina, and it wasn't a woman. It was like a creature, an amorphous blob that kept appearing and was both ominous and comforting. And for some reason, it was Tina. And so I talk about Tina a lot. I'm talking to her. And that was like, I don't remember it. I can't sort of see her, but I remember her essence. And so that bit doesn't really make sense, but like I remember where it was coming from.
I see what you're saying. I did mushrooms this last summer, and my friend Nathaniel, while I was high, called the moon La Lune.
Oh yeah.
And I've never laughed harder in my time. Like and it was like I fell into my own laugh, and it was one of the most beautiful things. And he didn't know what he was doing because he was just a sober man hiking with someone who.
Oh, I can't believe you did that to your friend.
Everyone knew we needed. He was great, but the thing is that he was totally fine and totally cool because he was just like he had somewhere to be the next day, so he just came on and made hot dogs, and then I was doing other things, and he just went. And it was so fun because he was like dead clean cool. Just we were on a hike, and it was also nice because then you felt so safe, really exploring the woods. Yeah, because there was someone absolutely. Will find you. There was someone absolutely, totally that you knew was like rock solid, and then he just the moon was so beautiful, and he just went La Lune, and oh my god, like hell, La Lune. Oh fuck me, that's yeah.
I remember the first time I took mushrooms, I was at my friend's house. It was like her parents are crazy rich. They're jade miners.
Yeah.
And so she had this huge expansive
Kingio
house.
Is correct. This never happened.
Yeah.
And he knows that it never happened because he was not there.
Guaranteed. No one was.
No one was there. I was there.
and yeah, so I took, and where was they had like basically a forest on their land, and I walked out. I had a motorcycle helmet on with like a big glow in the dark afro wig over top of it. Sure. And I just laid down in this copse and looked up at the stars and listened to Fleet Foxes and started crying because everything was too beautiful.
What's with you and Fleet Foxes? Fleet Foxes is not a trip music for me.
It was a moment where Fleet Foxes was I was on the West Coast as well, so it's very Fleet Foxes area.
Yeah. That's marsh music. You know what I mean?
Well, just the harmonizing, it's very beautiful.
Very.
And but then later on that night, I climbed into my tent, and a girl that I was like infatuated with, I was so into her, and we'd made out a few times, but nothing was going on. She climbed into my tent, and I was like, "This is the best night." But then she was like, "Listen, don't ruin this." I was like, "God, now I'm gonna sit and think about what that means for the rest of the night." I was having such a good high.
God damn it. Yeah. Oh no, that's the worst. I mean, I also took way too many mushrooms and threw my phone in the woods and saw aliens and all sorts of shit. But that, by the way, oh boy, thank God for our old manager being awake, or you were getting woken up, my friend, because I needed some help.
That's why we have them. That's why they get at 15%.
Oh boy, yeah. I just heard a rush, like bang, 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 bang. Hello, I gotta drink these beers and talk with you. Also, everything's turning green. What? Quiet. Where can I smoke? Oh, that was good stuff. Anyway, answer the question from before. How did the night end when I took mushrooms, or with the married woman? The married woman, she told me she was divorced and she wasn't, and then we ended up dating, and then she stalked me for a while, and then I had to confront her, and I also met her another boyfriend that she had at the same time. I don't know how this person had the time for all of this. And then I never saw her again, and she occasionally emailed me and made me feel very uncomfortable. And the mushroom trip ended like all mushroom trips do, which is I'd like to go to bed, and then you realize, guess again.
Yeah. I remember one time I got home from an acid trip at like 4 a.m, and I'd gone to see Gogo Bordello, and I came back to my friend's house. She was like, "You want to do some acid?" I said, "Yes." And we rearranged all our paintings and had a wonderful time. And then I got home and I was like, "Oh, sleep." Can't. Not an option. And so I did my first ever live tweet, and I live tweeted Back to the Future 2.
What city was this in? Montreal?
Yeah, this was Montreal.
Oh,
It was so fun. It was so fun.
Is the Sparrow's gone, right?
No, it's still there.
So there's it survived COVID. Well, I guess.
Yeah, I think they're doing some delivery stuff. And what's nice is that when I went back last year, when I came back for your wedding, I went to go visit everybody, and they one of the old bartenders is now a part owner. So it was like it was nice to see that movement. And a lot of them have moved on. Some of them own other bars, or they're in their bands and stuff like that. One of them's in a band called Plants and Animals. I don't know if you've heard of them, but they're great Montreal sort of down home rock. They're great. They're great. See, it was nice to go back, but I'm fuzzy. There we go. There we go.
Well, Montreal is one of the few places where people can be a career bartender. It's the best and worst part of that town.
Yeah,
it's Never Neverland, and it's great, but also at a certain point, you have to leave or go get a sociology degree.
You have to leave, or you can never leave. It's that you hit that point where you literally just can't. You have no callus on you because life's been so sweet for the last few years.
Fucking easy.
That leaving is just, it's impossible because it will crush you like any other town. Vancouver will crush you.
My rent was $200. The fact that there's a 2 at the beginning, 275 all in, 275.
I had a 3-bedroom or a 3-room apartment, and I was paying $5 something.
And people would be like, "Whoa, it's a bit pricey."
It was crazy. I mean, to be fair, my landlord was a crackhead. And he broke into my neighbor's apartment one day, and my neighbor came in, and our landlord was just standing in the, and he goes, "Hey, I came here to fix the window," and he goes, "But you clearly broke the window to get in here." Yeah. He's like, "No, see you later," and he left. And every now and then he would come in and ask for the rent on the 10th, but other than that, he was fine. He didn't bother me.
Oh yeah, you didn't ever explain the realist article about LBJ from yesterday?
Oh, that's such a crazy thing. If you ever get a chance to read Paul Krasner's book, I can't recommend it enough. He's got a great essay about doing acid with Groucho Marx.
Wait, did Groucho also take the acid, or is he just taking acid next to Groucho Marx?
It was the first time he was with Groucho. The first time he took acid, so Groucho was high and waxing lyrical, saying really beautiful things.
Yeah, like
so irreverence is reverence. If not, it's a waste of.
You read about 2 of the Marx brothers, and they are wonderful. And then you read about exactly the one you think is going to be kind of a bag of shit, and you're like, Chico, I fucking knew it.
Yeah. Where's Chico? It's a casino or a brothel. Let's be honest.
Yeah. And by the way, he's not sure which way. That's why he ended up fucking a couple of slot machines. Harpo literally just went around the world adopting children and treating them with respect. And Groucho was just a nice, smart businessman.
Yeah. Yeah, who actually Paul Krasner saved him because some of his business deals were real bad, and he wasn't getting residuals or royalties off things that he'd made. And so Krasner came in, organized a book deal for him with a friend at a publishing house, and was just like, just give him in advance. He needs money, and sorted all of his accounts out, and that was why he was able to continue. And
then he became a great doyen of the talk show circuit.
Yeah, he did. But anyway, so this LBJ thing. So what happened was there was a tell-all, like a really in-depth biography that I'm sure, John, you read about Kennedy and the assassination, where they talked to everybody. They talked to Jackie O, they talked to LBJ. It's apparently like the one where they spoke to everybody. But famously, there was one chapter that was removed because Jackie O was like, just not that one. Everything else is fine, but just don't include that. And he said, okay, no problem. Thank you for the access. And so the realist said, we got the chapter, so we're just going to publish it. Fuck everybody. Because that was the attitude for the realist. And so they published this chapter, and there's a story in it where on Air Force One, flying back from it was Dallas, right?
Flying back from Dallas to Washington.
Yeah. And Jackie O's on there, LBJ's on there because he's president now.
He's sworn in as president.
And they she goes back to go visit her husband's corpse, and hopefully to cry. And she sees LBJ standing over, and he's crying. And then she gets a little bit closer, and she realizes he's actually laughing. And she gets a little bit closer, and she realizes that what he's doing is, while he's laughing, he is fucking the bullet hole in her husband's skull.
Yes. I believe it was the throat specifically. Because there was something about and that's when Jackie O realized that the new president was a throat fucker. Like something very like, oh boy.
But what I love about it is that the way that they wrote it,
it looked like it was the book.
It looked like it was the book. And no matter how much like the author was like, it's not the book, it's not the book. But people that analyze writing were like, we honestly can't tell you. And what I love about Krasner is he's like, I'm not telling you either way, because all you need to know is that it says that in the book and you believe that it might be true. And that's the president. You think the guy who's president might have fucked up his friend's bullet wound.
I mean, LBJ, the relationship between LBJ and the Kennedys is amazing in that Robert F. Kennedy, eulogizing his brother a year after his death, quoted Shakespeare, and he was the glorious moon to the envious sun, and LBJ supposedly turned to an aide and went, "Did he just call me the fucking sun?" Like they fucking hated each other. Like there is a academic argument to be made that the escalation in Vietnam is because what is this? Is a little Coloni from Caloney Kelly. I is a little likes bees, readies, twos, comes over twos, doos little nice pollens and luxurious trimmings. No idea.
I don't know this person. Do you know this person? No, I think it must be coming off my Facebook feed, so that's exciting.
Good times. Or my Facebook feed. Either way, but yes, no, apparently because Robert F. Kennedy just always called Lyndon Johnson like weak and like not iron-willed. So there is theories that that's why the Vietnam War escalated. Where he's like, call me weak, you little fucking pussy. But oh my god, he's so nuts.
It's like that Bill Hicks thing about George Bush, where they on Time magazine just said wimp president. Yeah. He's like, I'll show you.
I mean, everyone talks about how Bill Hicks, like I always liked Bill Hicks the best at the beginning when he was just an observational comedian, but I do like him at the Oxford Playhouse where he's just talking about how him and Saddam Robert Kennedy did not kill a woman. Incorrect.
No, that was the other Kennedy.
That was Ted Kennedy. Ted Kennedy.
Robert Kennedy, Marilyn Monroe while his brother watched.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, we can never forget that the Kennedy brothers were the reason why Marilyn Monroe died, and
theoretically,
allegedly, also according to Jilly, Frank Sinatra's driver / mafia contact, Joe Kennedy liked to hire ladies of the evening to use them as ashtrays. Even if that's fake, that's such an indictment that someone could write that and you could get that past a publishing house lawyer.
Yeah.
Good God.
Well, did you hear about what was her name? Mimi
Mimi Beardsley, of course.
Mimi
your
Beardsley.
wife and I sang that song from Opie and Anthony most of the days when we lived together.
Have you done this before?
Oh, Mimi Beardsley. I mean, I'm going to put it on right now. Oh, it's probably I miss Opie and Anthony. Thank God they went away because they would have killed them. It would have been so bad in the current climate because one of them is a racist.
Still is, yeah. And Opie's like a bad guy. He's a bad guy, but he's not Anthony. He's just a bad guy.
Yeah, they're not good. Like you realize you're like, oh, their level of I don't give a fuck comes from a very bad place.
Yeah.
But Jesus.
Do you remember the Opie story where he just smacked a homeless man's cake out of his hands?
I mean, he stomped on the cake first of all.
Oh, it was so upsetting.
Homeless Anthony, Homeless Anthony or Homeless Andrew. Yeah, it was brutal. I mean, the time someone brought in poker chips and he threw the poker chips at the woman is one of the most off-putting things I've ever seen in my entire life. This is by the way Jim Norton singing a song about Mimi Beardsley off the top of his head. No, this was mixed into a song and he just riffed this. I don't know. This is ridiculous.
Oh, Mimi Beardsley, could you eat my ass? Mimi Beardsley, haven't you done this before? Mimi Beardsley, worst name ever. Mimi Beardsley, Mimi Beardsley, I'm fucking getting Negroes.
Oh no.
Oh. Do you have any friends who'll eat my ass? Have some cool alcohol. Oh, you're a virgin, aren't you? Smell the
By the way, all from her book.
Yeah, these are all JFK quotes.
Why don't you take care of my baby brother? Oh, look, his cock went back into the left.
Jesus Christ.
Cock went back into the left.
Oh,
back
no.
into the left. Oh, Mimi Beardsley. Could you eat my ass, Mimi Beardsley? You've done this before, Mimi Beardsley. Worst name ever, Mimi Beardsley. Mimi Beardsley. Oh, Mimi Beardsley.
Oh, wonderful stuff.
I hope you get a copyright thing for that.
We've gotten copyright every time. We got copyright for the Knight Rider theme, and I'm fine with it.
Wow. Sadaf and I were talking about the up and down game the other day.
Oh, it's amazing.
We were talking about Patrice's laugh. And is there a way, because we can't think of a way to describe the up and down game to anyone ever.
The creepiest thing you've ever seen in your entire life.
There's no way to get into what it is without just ruining your relationship with that person.
Yeah, it's one of the creepiest things ever.
But also just a hilarious moment in time.
Yeah, that's what that show was. Oh, Chris doesn't know what indoor league is. Oh, Chris.
Oh, what are we doing?
Oh, we're about to watch some shit, bud. Okay.
I like how many of the jokes in this involve YouTube videos. It really makes it feel like we are at the same house party. Oh, Alex is begging that you don't put me in the
prize for the winners. But if not, if you did miss it, just sit back.
Watch this shit right here. This is a 70s TV show where darts come from competitive darts, and they just play pub games, and it's hosted by the worst alcohol. That's Cheese Skittles. That's the best game. It's hosted by the worst alcoholic you've ever seen in your life.
That is the first slow motion foosball shot I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, it's unnecessary. The Irish Centre in Leeds. Look how bad they are at arm wrestling.
Over the top. Look at these sweaty guys.
Now then, today we're paying homage to the champions of the Indoor League. 9 lads and lass who came here with high hopes and left with gold medals and cash. We're going to recapture the tensions, the highlights, the skills and the excitement of the past few weeks. The first champion to be crowned was George Jones of Northamptonshire, who won the first ever televised Cheese Skittles Championship.
Starting with Cheese Skittles. Fuck yeah. Who's Jeff Boycott?
Oh, Jeff Norcott.
No, Jeff Boycott.
Oh, I just assumed that was like a nickname for Jeff Norcott.
Yes, I guess. Yeah. He does have like. I mean, I don't like that we haven't seen the host yet. So Cheese Skittles, I think, is basically just sort of bowling, but for people that have had too much stout.
Or is it like, it looks like that fairground game where you shoot.
Fucking host. Look at this fucking drunk guy.
Was arm wrestling. 16 muscle-bound.
He, by the way,
I like that they don't let him near the crowds.
Yeah, of course, you wouldn't, because he just smells too much like petrol. This guy, by the way, is always dressed in this. Like, they're clearly shot it all in one day, and they didn't just get him a different uniform. Never smokes the pipe, has it, and you can. Oh, that mouth. Oh, the smell.
Wow. That's a cartoon nose. That's an old face that you don't see anymore. They just don't make that face anymore.
Yeah, because that guy would have to stop drinking because of a doctor.
That's incredible.
That's who Jeffrey Boycott. So Jeff Boycott. So boycott.
Well, now I feel bad for assuming it was Jeff Norcott.
Yeah, because Jeff Norcott fucking rules.
I really like Jeff, but he's also one of the few right-wing comics, and so I assume that people have.
He is the only funny right-wing comic.
That's a guarantee.
The only funny one.
Even Nick DiPaolo's lost his goddamn mind.
I mean, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Here's why. Part of the reason why there's no right-wing comedians is because it's a conservative majority in the West. You fucks. You can scream about how you're not mainstream, but everything is number one. You scream, you're not number one, while the fucking you had the presidency and the fucking premiership of Britain for most of the last 4 or 5 years. So all of you going, right wing fan, me, eat my ass. How about that?
Yeah. And it always feels like another conservative government is inevitable. But every left wing one is like, maybe.
Well, part of it is also just Jeremy Corbyn, as it turned out, was Jeremy Corbyn as an idealist in Britain, wonderful. As a politician, not that savvy. And unfortunately, then Keir Starmer has been sort of painted as this kind of weird middle ground answer to Tony Blair, even though he's knighted for being the nicest white person to black people in the history of England, according to some.
I never believed in Corbyn, only because you don't spend that much time doing a job and chilling out at the back of the room and then be good at it. I've been the guy that avoids the spotlight in a lot of jobs, and I know how much effort I put in.
Here's my problem with Jeremy Corbyn is that Brexit, he needed to pick a side. His weird, I'm not going to say, because what it was is in the end, he's pro-leave. He was leave. The issue they really had was he was leave. That's what he wanted. His party didn't want that, and it fell apart there. And then it became. That said, he wasn't the great Satan they made him out to be. When they left, they were literally like, it's like when Trotsky died. It's like when Stalin died. No, it fucking wasn't. He was just an elected old guy. Shut up.
Yeah, just because they sang his name at Glastonbury doesn't make him.
Yeah. Also,
a transformational figure.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. It also doesn't not make Tony Blair a fucking monster. It doesn't also make Alistair Campbell not a war criminal. That he's gone. So yeah.
Wow, how did it get to war criminals from cheese Skittles?
I mean, this is
we're good. This is exciting.
Oh, you're trying to make hide nor hair of the logic of it? You're wrong, bud.
I love it.
But the final was the most gripping contest of all.
Also, every contest is the most gripping. Oh, look at these fucking people that are rude to women.
Wow.
Went into a special make or break tiebreaker to decide the contest.
Both vests, but very different approach.
This is also a point. Yes. We did give it the old skirt of the old anti-Semitism King GOW. Yeah.
But yeah, he was I can neither confirm nor deny in a few bad spots.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it. Yeah.
Oh wait, did the little guy won?
Amazing. Oh yeah, that happens a lot during the indoor league arm wrestling championship. Also, his name is Buster Whitney.
Come on. I swear to God that we just nobody looks like a single person in this room.
For the follow, thank you so much. Welcome to the Hummus Chums.
4 Yanks and 4 top English snooker players. In the end, John Ashcroft, the Yorkshire champion, and Ray Edmonds, the 73 World Amateur Snooker champion, were left to fight it out.
He knows this.
I used to hustle guys at this when I was 12.
Yeah, you are very good at pool. Yeah. And you know what's fun about me? I am arguably the worst pool. I'm as bad at pool as someone who's trying to hustle someone would pretend to be at pool, and people get angry at me for not being better. But I never say I'm good. I'm always like, I'm really bad at it. And then people are like, well, let me teach you. And then I have to explain to them what dyspraxia is. And then, by the way, it's now going to be worse because I have two elbows and a fuck shoulder. But I like an activity when I'm drinking. That's why darts is my fucking favorite.
Darts is great.
No skill to darts.
That is untrue. My dad competed nationally in Canada for darts. He competed for Saskatchewan. And I watched him last year wipe the floor with a bunch of old men when he was like, I'm tired of this bar. Let's go somewhere else. And so we went into the Legion. There was a darts tournament, and he just showed up and killed everybody. Hey, David, how's it going?
Do I know David?
David Hoare, yeah, I think so. He's like Bristol-based music comedian. He does the tech for Stu Goldsmith's shows online.
Oh. David, I feel like we've met, but maybe we haven't.
He's a good man. He's a good man,
buddy.
I like me some David Hoare.
Welcome aboard, David Hoare.
We did a very uncomfortable children's gig together.
Oh, are we talking comedy club for kids?
No, the Bring Your Baby in Bristol.
Yeah. Victor John Baker of Kent went on to
I met you the digital version or
on
the
the live one.
Yes, I do remember you.
Very little he can do.
He's a wonderful man.
Do you think the Edinburgh Festival is happening this year? Here's what I think. It might, and it'll be shit, and I'm not going.
I don't think it's going to happen. I think a few too many people will take Kate Copstick at her word and feel like it's a challenge and go, but that doesn't. A few lunatics does not a festival make.
What has Kate said?
Oh, Kate Copsick, where she like got mad at Scottish comics for not just doing it anyway.
That's what she does. She always gets mad.
Yeah, but like some people will listen to her, and the rest of us know not to.
What?
60 score.
Which you will take back to Tunbridge Wells.
What? You don't know?
70.
I mean, I don't think I'm supposed to advertise that I'm doing that show, David. But maybe I'll leave.
160.
Sneaky. Oh, what? Hold on. Wait, what game are we ignoring right now? I can't guess what this is. It looks like that marble game with a maze, but without the
I
maze.
feel like this is what we should have called the stream today.
240.
Yeah, what is this game?
Wow. Is it? It's not Skittles. No, that's bowling.
Please tell me that's what it's called. Ball tables.
That can't be the real name, Alex. Come on.
Bar billiard. This is yeah, like this is why this fucking show is amazing. Is it feels like they invented bar games and then found extras from Get Carter to play it.
From the Potters who made the final, John Shell and William Woolridge, and it was close.
Yeah, exactly. It was like she just didn't fucking acknowledge there was a goddamn pandemic going on.
I mean,
She just called us cowards.
I mean, yes. Well, this is the thing. This is the thing with Kate Copstick, and I think Kate is she's actually very good at her job as a reviewer, but sometimes she does have a habit of fucking getting herself on the internet for the wrong reasons. Is it
I
actually?
think she's hit or miss.
Bagatelle?
That's a pasta. You can't lie to me, Richard.
I'm gonna say this, but being a comedy reviewer is hit or miss. Like, I'm sorry, like what no reviewer ever takes into account is sometimes it's really hard because the audience is shit, and I know we're not supposed to blame the audience, but guess who does? Me. And I have been right. Also, I've been to more comedy shows than any comedy reviewer.
Yeah, 100%. It's the I don't know. I don't think it's a possible thing. I don't think you can review a show based on one night. If you go see it 3 times,
I actually do somewhat agree with you. I also, by the way, you'll notice that people really get an uptick in positive reviews if they have a shitload of sold out shows. It's an interesting sort of correlation that no one picks up on.
Yeah, it's that you want to be seen as on board with the cool thing, right?
No, it's just easier to do well with if there's a sold out room.
Oh, fair enough. I always thought that it was following as opposed to
no. That's it. I'd like not to accuse you of being cynical, but you both have a highball and a beer going, so I assume you've entered into that level of drinking.
Well, I was trying to find my water bottle, which I filled up, and I left it somewhere else. So now we're drinking Johnny Walker.
I mean, I didn't see you put it into a glass, so I feel like, this coin game, I have yet to figure out. But you actually see the host there.
Hey, Sayo Dab's on. Hey, Sayo. I haven't seen Sayo in years. Hope you're good, man.
Yeah, audiences can't be totally. I'm just a big fan. Oh, Baldy, because Baldy, you've been. You're great. What do we got here? I'll claim that. That's why my reviews were so bad. I do the same thing, bro. Can I just say that the return of the beard is a big relief? Oh, Chris, did you shave your beard again?
Oh yeah, I shaved it off a year ago, so it was gone for the start of lockdown.
Absolutely not.
It was fine.
I don't like it when you don't have a beard.
I understand. It makes everyone else very tense. People really don't like it. Like,
because you have such a warm face with a beard and a different type of it's just your chin is just in the wrong place.
I think normally what I get is I look. People can tell the things that I'm thinking about them when I don't have a beard on. Whereas with a beard, it's more sort of like quiet and stoic, and they go, "Oh, he's just sort of drinking." But then they can see that I think they're an idiot when I have a shaved face.
I was weirdly thinking about. I don't know why this popped in my head. Do you remember that night you, me, and that lady you did catering with got drunk in a baseball diamond, and then I made out with her in a full mud puddle?
I absolutely do. Yeah, we were singing "Home for a Rest" for a little while, and then I went and got beers and came back, and you were fingering her on the bleachers.
I was not fingering her on the bleachers. We were making out. How dare you? I just remember that. We just made out in a full in mud. I've never been. I had to take a drunken shit. I had to throw those clothes out. I do remember that. Very odd moment.
That was a great night.
Oh, so fun, man! That Baseball Diamond was my favorite bar in London.
It was so good, man. I miss drinking there. I miss drinking at the skate park in Finsbury Park.
Oh, also a great place. Why? But you could still drink in both of those places.
Yeah, but there's no one to drink with.
Yeah, that's true. No one wants to go there.
Yeah, it's either Canadians or no one.
I remember taking Tom Tuck to that Baseball Diamond, and he was so because it was like 3 a.m. He's like, "But we don't have any more booze," and I was like, "Thomas, there's a 24-hour off license 3 blocks that way, where we're going to go that, and we're going to get crisps and come back." And and I've never seen that man happier in his. He couldn't believe it.
It's right up his alley. I assume that he drinks in the woods alone. So,
of course, in crisps, it's the best bar. The Finsbury Bar Baseball Diamond. It's best bar in London. Doesn't close. Bring your own beers. Have a wonderful time.
There's an activity. You can race people.
Yeah, you can run the diamonds, and also last call is when the sky starts to change color.
Yeah. I love it there. Yeah, I can't do that now.
I mean, I gotta tell you, I'm so happy I didn't do it because I would have been stuck there. But how close I came to flying over was crazy. Like I almost bought a ticket and just went, I'm going to Christmas. I'll just go have Christmas at Coningsby Road.
That would have been amazing. We would have loved to have had you. We had such a nice Christmas as well.
And as it turns out, by the way, I felt really bad because it was the first time I didn't have Christmas with my family, and it was so much goddamn fun.
Yeah. Did you do like an LA Christmas, or was it just you?
I went to friends for dinner. I like chatted with people. Like it was super fun. I got like me and Chris Martin drank so much wine and ate so much potatoes and just laughed and played board games. And it was like all in fun. And then great. I woke up the next morning. I ordered a giant breakfast burrito, and then 6 hours later ordered a giant chicken parmesan. And then went back to bed like a champion.
Yes. Yeah, that's just time well spent. I love Friends Christmas. All the fun, no pressure. Can we turn off this rambling British man? Thank you.
You went to that gig. Wow. It's a bad park for music festivals.
I've never been to one, but I can always hear them from my house. Well, from our old house.
Of course.
I heard a whole J. Cole set. He killed it.
I remember I've heard an entire Arctic Monkey set. I missed the Queens of the Stone Age set.
Oh, damn.
Scottish shops. Oh yeah, Scottish shops do have that weird fucking rule there. Stewface, what are your thoughts on the Undertaker's comments? Wrestling locker rooms were better when the guys had knives and guns. Well, he's just an old man from Texas is the problem we have there. That's the issue. He's just an old fuck.
Well, also then they wanted to talk to him. I feel like new wrestlers don't want to talk to the Undertaker. They just want to be like near him and have his respect.
But this is the thing that, and I'm learning, and I think you're also learning this too, is as you get older, you do realize there's a way to age gracefully. And there is a bit of I'm supposed to kind of get out of the way because 20-year-olds have energy, which is phenomenal. I don't want to do that anymore.
I loved doing it.
I love doing it. It's in the same way I do not want to do drugs anymore. I do want to be offered drugs.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I get that.
100%. Would you like to smoke weed with me? Absolutely not. Thank you so much for the offer. Yeah.
Do you want to come with us to this after party? No.
But I want to be invited. And that's always the good indication. No, I don't. I will be going home. But I will have it's literally, I'm going to, 2 puffs out of a fucking window. And guess what?
I remember a guy telling me that when I was bartending at 18. And he was like, I was like, we're going to go to another club. You want to come? And he went, no, I never, ever want to go to a nightclub again in my life. And he was probably 32 or something.
I've been to it.
And I remember thinking, like, how do you ever get to that point? I can't imagine not wanting to go out again. And now I'm just like, he knew. He fucking knew. He was
But you need to be both of those people. Like I remember I stayed up all night and then went to a friend's volleyball tournament. The Head and Hands Grumpy's.
Great. So much fun. So much fun.
Yeah, we definitely got in trouble because I showed up and I'd been up all night. And and I wasn't up all night studying. Luckily, I was not the only one on the team who had not been up all night. Like Garth very much got some sleep. The rest of us smelled like a goddamn barley factory.
It's a mess.
And they made the mistake of opening that beer tent in the morning. And let me tell you, we all had cash. And I got sanctioned by a referee because I was smoking a full cigarette on the volleyball court.
Well, I remember us heckling the other teams for not drinking. We were like, because all the beer money goes to charity. It's like, why are you here?
That was my point as well, because someone was like, this is a bit disrespectful. And I was like, I've spent like $80.
Yeah. We're heroes. We're drunken heroes.
This is very funny. When I worked in a bar, a guy was like, I'm starting union tomorrow. And I said, I'm happy for you, but I'm so glad I never have to do that again. So I loved university, but I was in theater school. It was a very different sort of situation.
See, I went when I was 23, 24. And I went because I had always wanted to go, but I'd already traveled and risen to the top of an industry, and then was like, I'm going to go back to school. And then I hated it because I was surrounded by 19-year-olds who were playing Tetris all the time. So I dropped out to do stand-up.
For those of you who don't know, by the way, Chris was a flair bartender.
I was not a flair bartender. I was a mixologist.
What could you do flair?
Small amounts, but I didn't do it at work. I wasn't allowed. We would get punished if we juggled. One of my bosses used to do the circus song. If any of us did any flaring, while we were doing it, she would all right, I get it.
I'm just remembering the kitchen of our flat in the first month was a biohazard. Oh, of course,
guaranteed.
Gross. You're in your 20s. You're essentially a baby adult. That's the thing. Your 20s are just like,
yeah, it's not about learning to clean. It's about how high can I stack these plates before they fall over and kill someone.
Of course. Oh my lord. I remember. Yeah.
Mixologist is a cunty term, Baldy. You're right, and I hate it. It's just we haven't thought of a better word. Cocktail bartender.
Because the last place I remember you being a bartender was that steakhouse where we went for that amazing. We got that like really discounted amazing lunch that time.
Hawksmoor. Yeah,
Hawksmoor. Holy shit.
That was the last one. That was it. That was what a great place to work, man. The food was phenomenal. But yeah, I worked everywhere.
Because you almost bought a bar in Brighton that we've both then done stand up in.
Yeah, I almost bought a bar, and I'm so glad I didn't, because we got a business angel, like this millionaire, just sat at my bar one night. I worked at a little a hotel bar called Blanche House, and we just talked about cocktails all night. And then at the end, he goes, "Hey man, I'm a business angel. If you ever want to buy a bar, you let me know, and I'll fund it, and you take care of it." And so I found a place, worked out a business plan, got 2 friends on board. Just as we were calling to make an offer, they said, we just signed the deal with someone else. And then the other guy hadn't done proper checks, and all the plumbing and all the electrics were fucked. And he was a mess. Like, I would still be reeling from that now. So it was the best thing that ever happened to me not getting that bar.
How, like, would you have still been reeling, or you just declare bankruptcy and fuck off?
I might have just declared bankruptcy. I don't know how it would have affected me, because the money wasn't mine. It was the business angels. So I don't know what where the blame would have laid, but it would have been nasty. I mean, I was 20.
Oh yeah. You don't want to be making those big decisions.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just got an email that I didn't respond to, and I got one of those things where, and it's the best one, where someone very kindly is just like, I just want to make sure you got this. It's important. And I was like, oh, I better actually respond.
No problemo.
Yeah, it might be something that's happening tomorrow that David's involved in.
Ooh.
Yeah, I made no big decision. I almost started a theater company. I mean, I almost took a teaching job when I was 2009. 24. Yeah. In Montreal, I almost took a teaching job and had a job as a radio producer. And then I said no to all of it and moved to Toronto to keep doing stand-up, which was crazy. Like, looking back, I was like, man, you turned down a lot of money. But it was also that thing of, I actively was like, totally aware that I couldn't. This is the only time in my life where I was going to be able to do this. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a job as a bar manager at a Michelin star restaurant in Vancouver, and I was making stupid money. And I quit to work in the mailroom of a record label.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm 21. I want to do this And also I hated bartending at the time. So I was like, this is the perfect time to walk away. And yes, I just worked in a mailroom for a little while and then decided I didn't like that and went back to university. And then decided I didn't like that and then did stand-up. And now I'm here 10 years later. But
is it 10 years? I thought you were older than that than me.
I think it might be 11 years. I'm 36.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And your wife is significantly older than both of us.
5 months.
By 5. Yeah, that's a significant amount of months.
So old. She's an old lady. And I tell her that every
full season older.
I know. I tell her that. I say, you are 9 episodes of Gilmore Girls older than me.
Oh, God. That's pretty great,
Disgusting.
That guy
takes care of me.
That guy was bald, right?
Which one?
The guy who always wore a hat in Gilmore Girls? It always bothered me that he wore a hat.
I don't think he was. I think he had hair because he'd take it off sometimes when he was frustrated.
I didn't care for his treatment of that woman. Lorelai?
He was just gruff. He meant well. And whenever she needed him, he was right there. No problemo.
Sometimes you shouldn't wait. What's Gilmore Girls? I mean, it's a show that you wouldn't think Chris and I would both enjoy, but I got news for you. It's fucking watchable as hell.
It really is. It's just enjoy. Amy Sherman Palladino, she can write a pop culture reference.
Certainly can. That said, the reboot or the return?
Oh, yeah, that was bad. No, that was bad. Skip that.
No, just watch just Rory and Lorelai having way too much intimacy as mother and daughter. Wonderful stuff.
I remember dating a girl who she was really mad about that relationship. She's like, Lorelai is a terrible mother. Mother.
I'm loving how much, like, Luke was the only good part of that show. You're out of your fucking mind. Melissa McCarthy, King Gio, La Lune. Luke was a stand-up guy mostly.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, he's no saint, but he was in their corner.
Oh, it is fucking weird. It's a weird, it's a weird show.
Yeah. I've never watched it alone. It's my wife's comfort show. And so
really?
I watch it with her a lot. Yeah. So she'll just have it running in the background while she's doing other stuff. And yeah. And when I'm watching it with her, I'm like, this is just good television.
Yeah.
It's not Twin Peaks, but it's
100% of, I mean, and by the way, let's just say what we've all been thinking. Twin Peaks is one good season.
No, 1.5 good seasons.
No, shut up.
First half of the second, until they solve the crime, fun and enjoyable. And
all right, I'll give you that.
And then after that, it's just bananas. My favorite is what happens to Josie. I can't remember her last name, the woman who owns the mill. And she goes, she just disappears she just becomes a chest of drawers.
Oh yeah, I mean that's just David. This is again, you can't give David Lynch too much money. Is the main.
He left. It was the other guy. It was just the other guy.
I still feel like there was some things where he's like, that guy. She becomes a drawer. All right.
Have you watched his documentary, Life of Art?
I have not. I have watched a lot of his
The Art Life.
Yeah. I have watched a lot of his interviews with Charlie Rose because I love him being interviewed. Charlie, the thing to remember is that sometimes creativity is like a cup of coffee. It burns you, but it's so necessary. Like, what the fuck? How is that so profound?
This whole, the Art Life documentary is so strange because every story he tells from his childhood, you can just be like, and that's that character in Twin Peaks. And that's that character in Twin Peaks.
I mean, I love that he talks about being centered of mind while smoking so much.
Constantly.
You gotta be attuned to the universe. Can we do a watch along to Eraserhead? I mean, we can. Yeah,
it's totally doable.
I mean, we still have to do the inevitable. We have to wait for Paul Bjorn to fucking stop dying, and then we can do the watch along to No Holds Barred.
Yes. Yeah,
how is he doing for that? I assume
he said he's like his temperature's down.
Good.
He's not eating much. He's waiting for a COVID test to come back. So
I assume everyone in the house is waiting for his COVID test to come back.
Yes, we are. But he's been really good. He's been wearing a mask whenever he leaves his room, and mostly just staying in his room, just locked down. But
how are you?
I feel fine. I mean, I've been eating a lot of sugar, so chaotic, but not COVID-y. Poor choices.
I just keep eating so much just meat, no seasoning. Just like I literally just cooked a full thing of minced meat in a pan and ate it with a spoon, and it was delicious.
Any seasoning at all?
No.
Great.
Like
so funny.
Like Jordan Peterson on a goddamn spiral. Oh, and by the way, like I was a vegan before my accident, and I hit the road, and I've just wanted to like bring me carcass.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any carcass?
David, mostly biscuits. I eat a lot of cookies, man.
Oh, they're so good. I can't have them enough.
I can eat like a whole tube of chocolate chip cookies in an hour. And that's me pacing myself. They'll just go. I love them.
Baldy, I know I can grow bones without meat. I'm choosing not to. Biscuit of choice. I mean, in the UK, and this is about to get fucking controversial. Yeah, here we go. Alex, Tim Tams, of course. Yes, we all know.
Clearly Australian. Now we know where Alex is from.
Yeah, okay. we all know where. We've had this debate on the program a multitude of times. Penguins, for me, is an absolute fucking huge treat. Although
controversial.
I mean, I also do like the dark chocolate digestive cookies you can only get in.
Now you're talking. That's the one. That's the one.
If you get
dark
those
chocolate digestives,
if you also get those with, you get that, and you want to be a real, and this is very specific to where you are. If you go to the off license by Manor House Tube, big enough neighborhood that I can name the tube station. You go in there. They have a particular brand of hummus. You get the big tub of that. They have the butter infused crackers and those biscuits, and you have yourself a carb party. Holy shit!
Wait, are you dipping digestives into hummus? I need to know that right now.
Absolutely not. You're dipping the crackers in hummus, and then when you're feeling a lot of shame because that hummus is gone, you switch to the biscuits.
Strong. Yeah. I love it.
And if you really want to be a bag of garbage, you do that in the morning. You do that you breakfast, and then dinner is the biscuits.
Nice. Yeah, no, I'll like that's one thing that I don't miss about being on the road.
Again, I'm not having this fucking argument again. I'm not. I swear to fuck, I'm not having this argument again.
I have never had Tim Tams, and so we can do this live on the air.
What are you talking about?
I've never had a Tim Tam.
They're wonderful. Like they're like it's one of those things where they're very good. Like
okay,
you see everyone's point.
Okay, well that's good, but not when they're debating versus penguins though.
I just prefer penguins. It's just a matter of taste.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
I still like. I got news for you. Don't think you're having one Tim Tam. You're murdering that goddamn. Oh, that sucked for my shoulder. Holy shit.
Oh Jesus, yeah, you threw the whole thing around.
That's all right. Also, how long have we been talking? An hour and 15. Wonderful.
Nice.
Again. Untrue. Sopranos is better than Breaking Bad because Breaking Bad is following the same footprint as Sopranos. Also, this is every episode of Breaking Bad post season 3. Abstract weird thing. Skyler. Jesse. Abstract weird thing called back at the end.
Yeah.
Bill Burr's here. Jesse. Skyler. Abstract weird thing. Guy dies. There. That's the fucking entire thing. You
didn't even mention meth.
Yeah. There's whole episodes where it's just like I love Bryan Cranston in spite of how fucking irritating that. And by the way, Better Call Saul. Here's Better Call Saul. Oh, I'm so brooding. I'm a brooding boy. I'm a brooding.
I don't give a shit about that show. I keep trying to because I love Bob Odenkirk.
Love him.
And I don't give a shit about that show at all.
Fuck off. Better Call.
Whereas The Sopranos,
wonderful.
Perfect.
Perfect show. Up until season 4 and season 5 and 6, I can do without.
Okay.
First 3 seasons are flawless.
Yeah, unfuckwithable.
The pilot of that show is probably the best pilot of any show I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm gonna watch it right now. I got HBO Max. We can watch it right now, and then oh boy, will we get a DCMA smack?
Yeah,
right.
I've got that on Sky. I'm gonna watch that again. I started at season 2 when I went back and watched it.
You gotta go season 1.
Only because I'd watched season 1.5 before that. But like a year and a half before, so I just decided I made the jump.
Although Polly is much better starting in season 2, and Polly for me,
Polly is a bitch.
Of course he is. That's why he's the best. That's such a loser.
I can't stand. That was what threw me when I watched it again during lockdown. It's
Oh, it's
like
awful.
all these guys are losers.
That's
They're
why
all just whiny losers.
Listen, you and I have lived in Montreal, so you massage against the criminal element, and you realize why they're criminals is they're fucking dumb. Like,
Yeah.
A smart criminal does not get caught. I got news for you. It's very hard.
I think The Wire is the best of all time for me personally.
I mean, it is pretty good. We let the chat go.
Yeah, it really got away from us there.
And we're gonna. You haven't even watched it.
David Hort, for dipping digestives into orange squash, you go straight to hell.
Yeah, that's horrendous. And then you were talking about
you go straight to hell. I looked right in the camera. That's how much I mean that.
Yeah, that's really weird. You can only dip cookies into milk, coffee, or tea.
Yeah, or melted ice cream if you're really going for it.
Of course, but that's just very sugary milk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I got news for you, David. People do hate it.
Yeah,
these two people right here hate.
Rightly so. You're wrong.
Yeah, have you tried it? Don't need to try it. Don't need to try being a Nazi to know I don't like it. How about that, bud? How about fucking that shit?
Wow. It took us an hour and 20 to talk about Nazis. I think that's a podcast record for podcasts in the world.
I mean, it's an internet record currently, I got to tell
you. King Joe, you asked, how have I never tried Tim Tams? I honestly don't know. I've just never crossed their path.
Yeah.
Are they even available out here? Can you buy them?
They're in the Bicky aisle. If you go to the big Sainsbury's if you go, by the gym I used to go to. Also,
yeah.
I will never have been more pleased to leave a country when that Sainsbury's stopped being 24 hours. Significantly affected my life. I love coming back from a night bus gig, 4 a.m, full grocery shop. You're in and out in half an hour.
Although there's something to be said for the Turkish store just up the way. I like scurrying around in that place and just being like, what do you got?
I mean, that place and the off license by the tube, that weird Turkish grocery store, and then the combination of that Sainsbury's.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
With the McDonald's right in the middle of all of them.
I mean,
just holding it all together with its gravity.
That McDonald's. I mean, what's the best is that McDonald's could be seen by the gym that I would go to every day, which is so funny.
Looking out the window.
Look out the window. Just see
fight it off.
The Costa Coffee, of course, and that goddamn TK Maxx that had a 2-hour window of browsing on Saturdays and Sundays. The amount of times I needed something. And you're like, well, no, we don't sell anything for 2 more hours. And you're just like, this country, how alive.
No wonder you had to go to other countries to try to feel alive.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no wonder you had to conquer India just to get some goddamn seasoning on your bread. And that's, yeah. I mean, that's the only Subway I've ever done takeaway from.
Oh, I only do takeaway from Subway. There's nothing sadder than eating in a Subway sandwich.
Subway, I never go to a Subway sandwich in a city that I live.
Oh, only if I'm on the road. I eat it. It's a nice on the road thing. But
it was just sometimes I want to, because I would occasionally after baseball diamond time, you are brutally hungover and you're just like, I'm gonna get a full Subway sandwich.
Oh yeah, 12-inch Italian, spicy Italian, honey oat.
Oh, you got to go honey oat. I mean,
here's
what I never liked is that you couldn't get the deli meat and the egg. I tried. They would not let
you.
Yeah, they wouldn't let you do it.
I never asked. I don't like any pre-prepared egg stuff. I like my eggs fresh. I don't. No, it's like a airport sushi. I'm not doing it.
Hey, oh, I mean, yeah, the UK loves a nice airport sushi. Here's my goddamn question: Is that Greasy Spoon Workman's Diner still going? That's across the street from that mall.
Yeah, that's a great diner. We go in there a lot, but I think they're doing takeaways and a little bit of delivery. We tried to order delivery from them, and they tried to charge us $2 extra for bread on our sandwich.
Oh, of course they did.
But I don't think that's them, because the people that run it are so sweet. Every time we go in, like, they remember us. They notice when Sadaf got her haircut. It's I think that whoever programmed it did it wrong, and so it just comes up as an extra $2. But as a result, we haven't eaten there in a year. But I think it's still going.
That's good, because they did a great line in a veggie breakfast that was very good.
Yeah, just a nice, like, that's the kind of UK that I hope to come over to, is just like a family making breakfast.
Yeah,
people
a nice
going to build
Turkish
things.
family, because it's
Turkish owned. Yeah.
Yeah, because as soon as you basically, here's the question, and here's what you need to know. If you're in the part of North London that Chris and I lived in, or that Chris still lives in, that I lived in, you can go Finsbury Park, which is gentrified, or you go on the Manor House side of the park, and then it is just either you're going to Tottenham and getting nuts, or you're about to learn about the supremacy of Turkey, my friend. And let me get this: if you're getting a haircut, you're getting a Turkish coffee with that complimentary.
Oh man, I love Turkish restaurants now in a way that I didn't think possible. Oh my God, the food is so good. But you know what? Some of them. So this is where that whole thing of like the children of immigrants are worse than their parents.
Yeah,
because the Turkish restaurants that were there that were great, huge portions, everything's like gifts and amazing prices and everything. All of a sudden, portions small, prices through the roof,
Even
nothing free anymore.
The green guy where you walk in and you're like some lamb and it's so many sides.
Yeah, man, it's all over.
Oh,
Kids took over franchising it.
I can't, but I still can't figure out. It's the I miss it so much, and every time I'm in London, I have it like 4 times. Is that weird foldy Turkish thing, which is the cheese and the spinach on what it basically looked like they prepared on the upside down wok?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, I can't. I don't. It's like it's Turkish spanakopita, kind of. It's fucking awesome, and it's the best one is next to the internet cafe weird thing that's on Wood Green. If you go halfway down, those guys were, because especially when I was getting my US visa, I was in there like every day. That would basically became was the norm to those guys, where they started like, no, today's free because yesterday you spent £80 in here. Yeah, thanks, guys.
Jesus.
Because it would be like, hey, we need you to print. You have to print all of these documents and then sign them all, like sign the bottom of some of them in ink, and then scan them all back. And it's just like,
dude,
fuck.
You just buy a printer scanner at that point. That's what I'm gonna do. That's yeah. Argos. We got an Argos right here.
Yeah, but I did. Yeah, but I didn't want to have to fucking. It was more stuff in the fucking house. You know what I mean? Like I was just like, I don't want to have to think about fucking putting it somewhere.
How long did it take you to get your green card again? Because in my mind, it was 15 years.
2015 to 2017.
And it was like straight, or were there 6-month periods where you heard nothing, and it was like you weren't sure if a girl was going to call?
There was a period for so I started the application process January of 2015
with the intent of
moving to the United States.
At when was your idea when you're like, I think I'll get there by May?
At that point, it was probably be going by fall of 2016. Okay. But at that point, Brexit wasn't a thing. Like you have to remember, January of 2015, Brexit's not a thing. Trump is not a thing. They're not things.
It's just a very hopeful world.
So my plan was split time. Is I would go back and forth, and I would just have papers to the U.S.
Yeah.
2015. So that took 6 months to get everything together. Submission. I got approval at the reasonable time. September 1st or 2nd week of September, I'm at the Travelodge in Birmingham doing the Comedy Attic for Daryl Martin.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got a call that says you're approved. I had already had scheduled, so approved 90 days approximately. You'll have your medical, and then you'll be fully approved, and you're good to go. So probably beginning of 2017 to have all of that done. Then I go to the US in October to see I've always thought about maybe LA because it's just be different than London. Come to LA. Fucking loved it. Exactly what I was looking for. I was already burnt out.
Yeah.
And then come back beginning of November of 2016, Donald Trump wins the election. I thought now I have to go because you're now I'm gonna have to approve. So it's like, oh, for fuck's sakes. And I get a call from my immigration lawyer the next day, and they said, we don't know when it's going to be approved, but it'll be at least a year. And I didn't get any more information until October of 2017.
Jesus.
And September of 2017, I get told you need to get a medical with your full medical documentation. Here's the problem. I didn't have a doctor for the entire time I lived in the UK. So Kai Humphreys Thanks, Dalton. You're great too. Kai Humphreys' friend, who was in the military, talked me through the NHS of how to get a release form from a doctor showing that I'm in good physical fitness, which was amazing, which I did at the surgery by Finsbury Park. Brought that to Kensington, got all of my booster shots and a full medical. And then got approval, and my green card officially started January 28th, 2018.
Wow.
So 3 years. 3 years and 15,000 American dollars.
Jesus Christ. And how much of that did you spend before you knew you were going to get it or not?
Most of it.
Yeah.
12 probably. Maybe
so
more.
Just sank 12 on a hope and a prayer.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But it's one of those things where if you have a good lawyer, they're not going to submit until you're good to go.
Okay, yeah. But still, all the prep for getting good to go is 12 grand.
Because you were living that. When did you move in?
Yeah, I was living with you while you're going through most of it.
Yeah, it was a fucking nightmare.
We moved in 2016, I want to say.
I thought it was end of 2015.
Might have been, yeah. I'm no good with that. I don't pay too much attention to it.
Yeah, I feel like yes, your wife knows. But yeah, no, that was the nightmare of it. The thing is also then it was 3 years. Then there was, but thank God I got it, because bear in mind they stopped processing. So Trump has fucked things in America in a profound way, and you'll notice like things are just moving quicker with the U.S.'s government in general. We can answer this question next.
Oh yeah, there's a long list.
That is a long list. And then the thing is, but a bunch of things didn't have people in position.
Yeah, that was his main thing, was just not appointing people, not
replacing. There was over
them.
150 positions that were never filled, plus ambassadorships. It's so fucked up. So it's like anyone who had a visa now is getting processed and they're firing through it, because the thing is huge companies were lacking people of specific skills.
That makes sense. Yeah, no, I remember like a friend of ours, we won't name her, but she's in LA now, doing really well, really happy for her. She was brought over by Mindy Kaling to write for one of her shows, and when she was brought over, it was like first Customs said no, and this is back when they had to tell you why they said no. Trump changed it so that they don't even have to tell you now. Now it's just a straight no and you're out. But they sent it back no, and her immigration lawyer was like, I've never seen a country put up this much of a fucking wall to stop someone from coming in. And then and she's a woman of color, by the way, and she gets Mindy Kaling to write her a letter. MGM Studios wrote her a letter of recommendation, and the government said, we don't recognize MGM Studios. MGM.
Insane.
It's just a mess over there.
Documentation, according to my lawyer, and also when I went for visa processing, was one of the biggest they'd ever seen. It was that thick.
Jesus.
Because so there's the process that she's talking about where she's probably getting stopped is there's a moment where they can ask you anything and they can deny you. It's the last step you go. It's usually where they catch people. And I literally, it was so fucking big that the guy went, you seem like you did your work. Welcome to the States, and stamped it. And I was it was a fucking nightmare. Jesus. But the reason why the way to get a green card, by the way, is you have all of the services of the United States. As opposed to, did you have to provide? I had to provide fucking everything, bruh.
Oh yeah,
ice skates, and twice. Bear in mind, I had to do everything twice because it took too long.
Jesus, yeah, of course.
And also, here's another nightmare: don't do it if you don't live in your country of origin, because then you have to get.
That makes sense.
You have to tell the story about. It's a fucking nightmare. How many comedians lived in that house? And we can also count comedians that stopped, because a shitload of.
So there was you, me, Andrea,
and there's a bunch of because there's time before. When I moved in, it was me, Andrea, Sarah Pierce of Angel.
Oh yeah, that's right. Amy Horiska.
No, Amy Horiska never lived there. Or never lived there. No,
I thought she did, because we got some mail for her once.
She may have had it as her address, but she was never in my time did she live here.
Okay, fair enough.
Lindsay Sharman.
Oh, I didn't know Lindsay lived here.
Lindsay Sharman.
No.
Ryan Cull.
Ryan Cull. Evelyn Mock.
Paul Meyerhog.
I forgot Paul lived here.
Evelyn Mock, Paul Meyerhog, Yomar Chen.
Yomar lived here. Yes.
I wonder where that fucking guy is.
I don't know. Wherever it is, he's not happy about it.
Certainly not. And no one remembers him. I feel like we're the only two people that recognized him.
Happen all the time. I told you he was my test for who's an asshole in Edinburgh. I just walk around with Yalmar, introducing him to people he'd met 5 times.
Oh, it's crazy.
It was so fun.
Who else? So those, yeah. So then, my friend Shea, Dave Tusonis.
Dave lived here.
Subletted my room a few times.
Crazy.
Shea, Catherine Ferns.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Catherine.
And then Catherine Ferns' shithead fucking friend that subletted for a bit. That sent a bunch.
I missed that because my mom died.
Yeah. Oh, you also missed the shitty email he sent to you about the cleaning of the house. I fucking hate that guy. I don't know where he is. I don't remember what his last name was. His first name was Nick, and he sucks. Yeah.
Yeah. Sadaf would every now and then she'd be like, "Everyone's freaking out about the guy in the house. Don't worry about it."
Yeah.
I'm not. I got other things going on.
Catherine,
but it sounded like it was pretty bad.
Leave the house, and he was going to take over his room, and that's the only time I ever went. Absolutely not.
Didn't he change the internet provider?
Yes.
He didn't live here. He wasn't on any of the bills.
He didn't live here. He didn't have any of the bills. He was a fucking nightmare. We were told that they were much closer friends than they actually were. He was a fucking piece of shit.
Oof.
I fucking hate that guy. Hey, Nick, if you're in the sound of my voice, fuck you, you fucking prick. You're a fucking liar. There's a reason why you were in your 40s and didn't have a fucking job. You cunt. Fuck you. Oh.
I didn't know you, Nick, but I trust the opinions of John and my wife. So
yeah.
Go fuck yourself, big guy.
And then you thought that made you a good person. It not made you a bag of shit. And he was also really shitty because he was like, "Hey, can any of you help me move?" And I said, "No."
Also, stop sending emails bitching about a house that a guy whose mom died isn't in at the moment.
You do not live there.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That was one of the worst. And then after that was Evelyn, Phil Ellis, and
then I think that's it.
That's it. Yeah, it's a fuckload of a long list.
That's a lot. Yeah.
But listen, here's the thing with that house is it was shockingly affordable and so central.
Still is. Still crazy affordable. I'm paying less rent than everyone I know.
I mean, I am able to afford the rent I have now because of the savings I had made living in such a yeah, maybe it was the same guy, Baldy. It was a real bag of shit.
Canadian guy? Bag of shit?
Yeah,
any bells?
Real bag of shit. Constantly talked about snowboard chums. Once told me, he's like, I'll never forget this. He goes, I remember one of the greatest lies. He goes, "Oh, I'm going to Canada next week. Got a lounge for the trip." Then the next weekend, I said, "Why aren't you in Canada?" He went, "Oh, work changed it." And I said, "Oh, do you have a job?" And he said, "No." And I was like, I don't fucking trust this fucking guy.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, that guy is possibly I hate more than any human being.
Wow.
He is worse than 1,000,000 9/11s.
1,000,000 9/11s.
That's right.
That's 911
How have we talked for an hour and 40 minutes? So, Chris, you won't be on tomorrow.
No, I'm doing my show.
I mean, yeah, I get it was good. There was going to be someone else, but I'm glad I didn't advertise him because I have to cancel him because I have to do something else. Stream will be at midnight once again. Hope everyone can join. Thank you so much for being a part of this. If you is Versus going to go until midnight tomorrow?
No, actually, it'll end earlier. I could probably come on. I'm around.
Yeah,
I'll be exhausted because I will have been like riffing for an hour and a half.
Even better. And you probably, if I know anything about old Chris Betts, he'll also probably he'll have a couple of tipples as well.
Oh yeah, he'll have a couple drops in him.
Yeah,
he'll have leaned on a couple
of scoops. So how about this, everyone? Go and watch Chris Betts versus the Audience tomorrow, and then Chris will come and do the show around midnight UK time. And I am not doing a show that David is involved in tomorrow also. And yeah, and then I will continue to work on the secret project with someone else as we're putting together.
I know what it is. Na, 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 na.
Yeah, I'm doing a new podcast with a comedian in the UK. named Alfie Brown. I don't know why I'm keeping it.
Well, thanks for taking all my power, John. Thanks a lot. Much obliged.
Also, if you're too exhausted tomorrow, you don't have to. But this is just making it much easier, and I'm enjoying. Yeah. It's a fun way to pass the time. And what else are we gonna fucking do besides suck each other's dicks?
I know, and our dicks are long, but they're not that long.
Bi-coastal long. Also, so
no.
Actually, we can close on this, and then I will go. So when all this is resolved, you're going to Van City.
First, yeah, we're gonna spend some time on Vancouver Island, hang out with my pa.
Is he on the island now? He's not along.
Yeah, he moved away from Squamish and he moved to Sydney.
Oh, the Vancouver Island during this must be because they've had nothing. Like they just basically shut it down.
Yeah,
continued as normal.
Super low. It was like they'd had like 12 cases, and then like 20 American tourists showed up, and then suddenly they had 40 cases, and then it just stopped. So, I mean, it sounds like everyone's being good, but I would have loved to have been there.
David, I tried to do morning streams. I didn't care for. I like late in the day. I like loose. Start your morning, all of that sort of stuff. I feel like I have energy now. It's also like perfect because it's like I'm gonna do stuff in the evening, and I can just sort of sit. I don't know how you like because how do you deal with the draining of all? I find this to be incredibly rewarding, but it's weirdly tiring. Like you need 10 minutes afterwards to sit there just going.
Yeah, for sure. Which is perfect for nighttime. Like I'll watch a basketball game now. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I would and
I'll just zone out.
I mean, I still am so fucking pissed off. The Corona robbed me of an LA World Series win and an LA NBA World Champion, and not any World Champion. LeBron doing it for Kobe.
Yeah, that would have been it.
He doesn't need a team to fucking show. Oh yes, I'm doing a show for Rumors in Winnipeg on Friday. Please watch.
Oh, cool.
It's a Zoom show.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm fine. I shirked Zoom shows forever, and I'm finally getting into them because I've got something to fucking say, and
that makes sense.
That's good.
Yeah, good for you, man. You want an opener?
No, they already booked it up. But you should reach out to them actually, especially if you're moving back to Canada. Reach out to those bastardos.
Yeah, I think I will. Simon King was like, "I'm going to give you a list of every one-nighter in BC, and we're going to get rich together." And I was like, "Thanks, Simon. You're a nice man."
Has he given you that list?
No, not yet. That was when I was back in Vancouver. We got very, very whiskey drunk together in Vancouver.
Whiskey drunk, he does.
Yeah.
He also makes very weird money metaphors when he's super drunk. I just remember once he was just like, "Let me tell you, that guy's worth about as much as a newspaper." And I was just like, "What the fuck does that
mean?" I don't remember anything we talked about, but I remember laughing a lot and the bartender showing us close-up magic. I had a great time. I had a great time.
Nothing better than a bartender with a nice skill. Also, I should say, I spent about half an hour sitting after, but I raid John Robertson and just watch him. Oh yeah. Oh, we can't. Oh, we can raid someone. Who should?
Yeah, let's raid John.
Is John on? Who's on right now? Let me look on Twitch.
It's on. Oh, it was Pierre Novelli's birthday the other day. I need to call him.
Roscoe's on. We could raid Chris Betts, but that wouldn't make any goddamn sense.
That would be very confusing.
Is Hands on? Oh, yeah. What's Hands? It's Hangs with Hands, right?
I don't know. Who's Hands?
Hannah Thombrudge.
Ooh.
You know who that is? Associate of Chris Martin?
No, I do not.
It's Chris Martin's wife.
Ah, cool. I don't really know Chris that well.
Oh, that's right. I assume you guys just smoked cigars at my wedding.
That was it. That was all we did.
Yeah, great. All right. Well, we'll see you all tomorrow. Chris is going to be super exhausted for the stream. Also, Chris, do you want to join the Discord? We have a Discord. Also, if anyone wants to join the Discord, please join the Discord.
Sure.
And can we just write and the raid message is Chris Betts. Chris Betts does not know your husband. That's what the raid message.
Where's my Discord business? There she is.
Right. It's Hummus Chums. Yeah, Discord. Oh yeah, and there's the link right there. Everyone join the Discord. Hangs with Hands. We will see you all tomorrow around midnight UK time and working backwards to 4 p.m. PST. Farting. Let's see if that worked. Did that work?
Thanks, everybody.
Hey, have a good one. Yes, let's raid now. Raid now. Rating now.
Oh, drawing. That's nice.
Yeah, she's drawing.